We're about to break down some Cowboys news and several injury updates. Before we do that, it is another shout-out challenge today. Whoever comments the most on today's show will get a shout-out. So flood the comment section. Type me, type 1 to 1,000, whatever it is. Just comment individually as many times as you possibly can. We begin today's show with the update on the Chuma Edoga injury. He has a toe injury that is going to sideline him for several weeks and will likely end up resulting in an IR stint for the backup offensive tackle. Now, in front of the show, Bobby Belt reported, it was a broken toe. Some conflicting info on surgery, no surgery. Either ways, this is a prime IR to return candidate now for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, of note, the IR rule change is going to take effect for this season. So, in years past, you had to put a player on IR and have them return. They had to stay on the active roster for 1 day. And then after that day, you could then put them on IR. They'd be eligible to come back, which meant you were cutting random veterans, re-signing them. Weird roster gymnastics. NFL went, this is dumb. The NFL has now changed the IR rule to this. Teams can place up to 2 players on IR to return on roster cut-down day, not before then, instead of having to keep them on the active roster for 1 day. That still counts as one of your 8 players who can return in the regular season. This really cuts down on the crazy roster gymnastics of, they cut the long snapper. Oh, the long snapper was back the next day type of deal there. What this means, by the way, as well, for the active roster standpoint, no doubts Tyler Guyton is your guy. Not that there should have been any doubts in the first place, but he is clearly set to take all the first-team reps, get back from what Brian Broaddus had said was pneumonia, which sounds like a lot to actually work through, which explains the longer illness there. He played 21 snaps in the preseason. Still not sure if he was supposed to come back in for the first half, or after the first half, but Matt Let's-Go had to get an IV, which is not a great sign for that. What was sick, by the way? And they put him back in there. Didn't get beat really in pass protection. Good run blocker as well. It was the Rams' backups, but he checked off all the boxes you were searching for. So while it is the, bright side of it, that Guyton is your clear-cut tackle, or left tackle one, I do have depth question marks for the Cowboys as it relates to the offensive tackle room overall, but we'll have to come back to that here in a second. So first, what is your concern level over losing Chuma Edoga for, let's round and say 2 months, give or take? Scale it for me from 1 to 10 in the comment section, the pinned comment, actually, of today's show. What I am curious to see how this all plays out is, especially for the preseason, how do you get by? Because your available tackle options right now are a little bit tricky. Josh Ball will probably play more guard. He played a lot of right guard in the first preseason game. Maybe they don't want to put him back out there. Earl Bostic got left tackle, right tackle. They'll try him. There's also Matt Let's-Go, and then Awesome Richards. So you kind of got, once your starters sit, you kind of have 3 guys that can play tackle for you in the preseason. And normally you'd like to have an extra one there, but Edoga's out. Awesome Richards is going to get the first crack at this job. That is the swing tackle job, left tackle and right tackle behind Edoga. I thought he was solid in the preseason. They played him a lot at guard, though, too. I think this might end up being, I think in an ideal world here, what happens is Awesome Richards takes this swing tackle job. And he looks really good in the preseason. We'll see if they put him out there on the right side or not. But I am optimistic, cautiously optimistic, that Richards can emerge and be your new third tackle. I think that'd be a good outcome given where you draft him and everything. What I am worried about is getting good evaluation for Trey Lance with the way Earl Bostic Jr. played. Oh, there's no way around it. He struggled. Allowed the hits, bunch of hurries. The sack number could have been higher. Trey Lance wasn't so good at avoiding pressures. Now, maybe it want Lance to get rid of the ball quickly. It's all interconnected, of course. I think Bostic didn't have his best results. This team doesn't seem to view Matt Let's-Go as a right tackle, by the way, either. So I think we have to pay close attention to Awesome Richards in this preseason game. See how he does. If he struggles, despite having really good guard depth, interior depth, which we'll talk about here more in depth in a moment, Cowboys might very well be looking for some more tackle help, more tackle depth, because I am curious if Nathan Thompson's healthy. Can he go? He was left tackle at Louisiana, but they kind of seem to view him as a guard. Beebe, Hoffman, Bass, Shepley, Ball, I think to an extent too. They're all viewed as guards. Not like you're playing Josh Ball left tackle anyway. Today's show is made possible by Rocket Money. Most Americans think they spend about $62 per month on subscriptions, but the real number is closer to $300. That is literally thousands of dollars a year, half of which we've probably forgotten about. Thankfully, started using Rocket Money, and you guys should too. It is a personal finance app that finds and helps cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, helps lower your bills so that you can grow your savings. Rocket Money can even help negotiate to lower bills for you, sometimes by up to 20%. Just submit a picture of your bill, and Rocket Money takes care of the rest. They will deal with the annoying customer service BS. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and it's a total of 500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's features. Stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/Cowboys. That's rocketmoney.com/Cowboys. Link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. At his walkthrough, it was not a real practice today, press conference, Mike McCarthy revealing Cooper Beebe is now going to get some first-team reps at center. Big Mike saying he has earned them. That is a very positive development for Beebe in what maybe still is a center battle. I thought Beebe fared pretty well in the preseason, allowed 2 hurries. I do think he was better at left guard than he was at center, but I do think ramping him up is a good thing and giving him a chance to earn it. I don't know if Hoffman was as good in the preseason overall, but this team has liked him. They like what they did last year. As a team, they seem to run the ball a little bit better when he was out there. He'd been earning a lot of praise in training camp so far. I am curious how many first-team reps Beebe actually gets. Is this they put him in for a series, or is this, hey, we gave him all the first-team reps? We'll know more on Wednesday. We'll know more on Thursday and into the preseason game as well. But I think this is a viable battle again, or at least gives you the hope of a viable battle again. So who will start at center? CB for Cooper Beebe, BH for Brock Hoffman. Positive update on Dak Prescott, who had missed the last practice that was available for Dallas due to ankle soreness, which caught people off guard and surprised people since all of a sudden the coaching staff and front office weren't out there and Dak wasn't out there, and there was some, he's getting extended, season's over, kind of weird freak out that kind of all went down in like 20 minutes. Traded Deshaun Wright. We all forgot about it. Seems like the Cowboys were being honest with it being not a big deal at all. But McCarthy's saying he'll be out there for practice today. It's a mock game. It's a walkthrough. That's what they mean by mock game. The opposing defense for the mock game was the second team offense. Like it's not real. But he'll be out there. If we were in full pads, he'd still practice today, Big Mike said. The Cowboys do practice tomorrow against the Rams, which will be the first team's reps as opposed to doing any preseason stuff. They added that one. They're going to do it again. So we will have coverage of that for you here on the channel. We'll do the exact same thing we did last time, which was I'm supposed to be off on Wednesday. I'll be working. But Kristen Stone will be here, so we'll film some full-screen graphics, overlay it, and talk through the notable takeaways from the game itself. I just won't be in the office. But there's news. I want to talk about it. So hit that sub button so you don't miss out. YouTube.com/@CowboysTV. Not so good of an update here for Deuce Vaughn. He did not participate in that Cowboys walkthrough, and I have real doubts about his preseason Week 2 status. And it's really hard when you're fighting for a roster spot, when you're fighting to prove you could be RB3 or RB4, and you have a real opportunity to maybe showcase something on special teams if you're just not able to be healthy out there. And we might be trending towards the old injury stash for Deuce Vaughn, or maybe I think you can get him down to the practice squad. I still wonder if your third running back is actually on the roster right now, but that is not a positive development for Deuce Vaughn. Hopefully he can go Wednesday or Thursday, but can't go in that preseason game. Man, it's really, really hard to figure out, what his future is short-term in Dallas.